Is wild. What is like a day-to-day, if you were to walk us through, a day or two in the life of a college athlete, what's that looking like right now?
It's with my class load, it's super, super crazy. And I think a lot of people don't realize is when I say basketball practice, I don't mean 2 hours in and out. I'm talking more about like a 4 to 4.5, sometimes 5 hour period. And so for me, like a typical day looks like I get up. I don't have class till like 10, which is super awesome. So big coffee girl. I get to have my coffee, do my devotionals, hang out. Sometimes I'll give them a call and go to class. And then practice starts at 1, but practice prep really starts at like 11. So 11:30, you're getting lunch in. You're fueling your body. You have to go see our trainer, and if there's any treatment you need to get your body ready, you're down there at 12:30 getting shots up, and practice starts right at 1. And so during season, we'll watch film, and that'll start earlier, and it looks different. Right now, because we're just preseason, there's no film to watch. So we just roll in. We start practice at 1. We go from, I would say, like 1 to 3, 3:30-ish, and we usually finish with a lift. And then you've got treatment after. And so, man, I get to the gym at 11:30, and most days I don't leave till about 5, which is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
It's a full-time job.
Yeah.
And are you doing full classes?
Yeah,
full class schedule?
Yeah.
What are you studying right now?
Psychology right now.
Oh, so you are like going for it.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Some of those prereqs are killing me.
Yeah,
Like I was
tough.
telling him I was taking biology. Oh my gosh, my brain does not work. that way.
Me either.
I was in an SI session and somebody asked a question like, "How does this work?" And I was like, "Because God made it that way." They were like, "That doesn't really work in this class." Okay,
That's
you know
funny.
what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Just because.
Man.
Just because
it's
God
just
made
like
it that
that.
way. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
And that's what's important.
Yeah. And how did you end up choosing Lubbock?
I had my first like phone call with them like I don't know, it was something like April maybe, and then like 2 weeks later they were like, "Hey, we want you to come out for a visit." And I was like, "All right." It was like so out of the blue, like hadn't even talked to the head coach, like I just talked to the assistant coach. And so I went out on an official visit, which means like they paid for everything. Like we drove out there, it's about 8.5 hours. So they like paid for our gas.
Wow.
And like paid for our hotel stay, got to go see like the facilities, went on a tour, like met all the girls. I actually got to like stay the night in one of the girls' apartments. So I got to like hang out with them. It was like, and
The
so,
one that had a rabbit.
oh yeah, it was awful. She has a rabbit in her little apartment, and it's in like the living room, and I chose to sleep on the couch because she was like, "You can take my bed," and I was like, "No, I'm okay. I'll just sleep on the couch." So I slept on the couch. That thing like was just rustling all night.
No sleep for you.
And I was like, I'm gonna throttle the rabbit. Like I'm gonna kill the rabbit. And eventually I was about to throw like a pillow at it. I was like, please, I need to sleep. And I had to practice with them the next day. So I was like, and we didn't stop talking till like 12:30. So I was like already tired. I didn't end up falling asleep till like 3 something. And it was that rabbit. And so I ended up falling asleep, and then it woke me up at like 5 something. So it wasn't even that good of a night of sleep.
Played really
That's
well.
so
I mean,
funny.
you walked away with a scholarship.
Yeah, so
kudos to you.
well, actually that's the weird thing is, so I got to practice with them, and then we went to lunch with them after, and they were like, "Well, we loved having you here. Like you did great in the practice." And they sent us back to our hotel, and we kind of just hung out, and they were like, the next day he was like, they sent us home after that. Like I didn't see them after that. And then we stayed the night again because we didn't want to start driving home at like 3. And so he took us out for lunch or breakfast the next day, and was like, "Well, thanks for coming." And that's all they said.
Yeah.
Like they were like, "Have a great trip home, drive safe." And I was like, "Oh,
That's it?
well, we just dropped our lives for a few days and drove all the way out here." And they weren't even like, "Well, we want you to come back," or "We're super interested." They were like, "Thanks for coming." And then like left me. And they were like, the big thing they kept saying was like, "We want you to have your summer, and we want you to like be a normal kid and not have to worry about us." And I was like, I want the exact opposite of that. Like I want to like know that I'm worrying about you, and I want to have you talking to me. And so like they didn't talk to me for another like 2 weeks. I mean, they called like my dad and talked to my dad, and they were like, "Hey, it was great to have her out here." And I didn't hear from them so I went out late May. And then I didn't hear from them again until like June.
Yeah.
Which is, June is high school month. So I was doing high school. I wasn't like, you're not really getting recruited in June. So I was doing high school. And then like, they were talking to me in June, and I guess like they just kind of kept in touch every like 2 weeks. And then out of the blue, they called my parents and were like, hey, we just can't like hold out any longer. We want to offer her. And like told them about it. And they didn't call me. They didn't tell me. They told my parents. And so like my parents, it was funny. We had just finished basketball camp here.
Yeah.
So it was like mid-June. Just finished basketball camp here. And I had like come back from practice and saw them like it was like 9 o'clock here. And we were still here after camp. Like we had practice or something. And like I walked up to the car and like they, like my mom, it was so weird. I remember she was like videoing me and I was like,
know it's bad. My mom's got
and
the
yeah,
camera
she
out.
was like doing her whole
Oh my
like
gosh.
camera thing like this. And I was like, oh, like what is she doing? I was like goofing off with my dad. And then they told me. Yeah. And I was like, it was my first offer. So I was like bawling and I was like, there's no way. Like this is, because like that's like, once you get that first one, you're kind of like, okay, like I'm taken care of. Like I have something. I have a place to go. And I actually, when I had left, like right after the visit, I was like, that is a great place. Like the people there are amazing. The girls are amazing. The coaches are amazing. And I was like, if they offered me, I would go there. But then they didn't talk to me for a month, like months. And I was like, this sucks. Like, this sucks. Yeah. And then they offered me, and I was like, I would commit. I would commit today if I could. And my mom was like, well, let's hold out. You still have like, so July is the huge club month where you go to like multiple different tournaments. She's like, okay, well, you have this, but let's hold on. Let's see if you can get any other offers, like just so you have options, because Lubbock is far away. So like I had gone to like a CCU camp here, which is Colorado Christian. And I was like, that would be a cool place to go because it's close to home. It's a Christian college. And I like, as I went on in the process, I was like, a Christian college would be really cool for me. So yeah, and then I didn't get any other offers. I didn't even, like, I talked, like, I had a little bit of interest, but I didn't get any other offers. And I think it got to be, I think I lasted 2 weeks. I lasted 2 weeks with the offer. We went to, like, 2 different tournaments. I lasted 2 weeks, and I was like, that's it. Like, I know I want to go there, and I don't want to get hurt and lose my scholarship. And so, yeah, I committed, and I was like, I want to be done with this. So, yeah, and I'm super excited.
Yeah. So. I mean, congrats. I'm excited for you.